Hi, I'm Angie Burgeon. I'm a trainer here at Rival, and I have a Tuesday trainer tip for you today. One of the questions I get asked a lot is, what are the best ab sit-up exercises I should do for my abs? And what I like to say is, first of all, let's talk about the core, not just your abs. Your core consists of all the muscles in your lumbo-pelvic hip complex. So it's almost all the muscles between your chest going down below your hip. These are all muscles that have to engage in order to stabilize your spine and provide a lot of stability in all the movement you're doing every day. So when we talk about those core muscles, I like to talk about two types of muscles. The first being your local stabilizers. Those are your deepest muscles, and they're the ones that attach directly to your spine. They keep your spine in neutral alignment all the time. And then we have our global stabilizers. They're a little more superficial, meaning higher up in the body, and they connect your pelvis to your spine, so they create that stability when your spine's moving, okay? So when we talk about our local stabilizers, we're talking about the ability to do what we call a drawing in maneuver. So when you pull your belly button into your back, that's a drawing in maneuver. So a lot of times you're at the gym, you might be with a trainer or in a class, and they say, pull that belly button in towards your spine. You're using those local stabilizer muscles that attach directly to your spine, okay? And that's where we like to work from the inside out. It's not to say sit-ups are bad, but here's the deal. If you don't have good local stabilizer strength, then your body is less able to absorb and respond to the impact or the force that's created when you do something more mobile like a sit-up. So those global stabilizers come into play more when we do other types of movement where your spine moves. When we're keeping our spine straight in neutral alignment, we're focusing on those local stabilizers, okay? So I'm going to show you a couple different exercises today. Two of them are going to be focused on our local stabilizers because that's where we want to start from the inside out. And a great way to do that is to think about when you breathe. Do you breathe down in your belly like we were born to do? When you watch a baby or kids start running and they're tired, if you watch, their tummies will naturally rise and fall as they breathe. That's the way our bodies were built to breathe. Most of us breathe up in our chest because of various imbalances and things that we've done and the stress that we hold up in our shoulders. So the first two exercises I'm going to show you here, I'm going to demonstrate with Rachel. The first one I like to call crocodile breathing or face down breathing. So you're going to get down on your stomach. We're going to make a little triangle on the floor with our hands and rest our forehead right on there. It just gives us a little bit of space between your nose on the floor. And what we're going to think about here is I'm going to ask Rachel to really think about when she's breathing, not rising and falling through her chest, which I could feel up here, but to really focus on pushing her abs into the ground as she inhales through her nose and exhaling through her mouth. So really you should just see that movement in the lower back. That's where those local stabilizers are taking over and really building that strength around your spine. Okay, so this is something you can do maybe even before you start a workout. It'll start to engage those local stabilizers. Just do that for about 15 breaths. It's also very relaxing. It might be a nice thing to do at the end of a workout as well. All right, and then we're going to flip over here. This is another breathing exercise that focuses on those local stabilizers. It's a type of PRI breathing, which is created by a doctor in physical therapy. We can talk more about that another time. But we're using this resistance band, and what I'm going to ask her to do is make sure that her shoulders are packed down, and she's got a nice straight line here, and there's just enough resistance to force that rib cage down a little bit, because your diaphragm is right up under your lungs, under the bottom of that rib cage. And by forcing that rib cage down a little bit, we're putting a little pressure on it, and really forcing those local stabilizers to engage. So what she's going to do here is breathing in through her nose, lifting one leg, filling up that belly, and very loudly exhaling like a snake. We're going to do several of these on each side. And what's happening is we're getting that drawing in maneuver to start because she's pushing her book back into the ground. We're also getting bracing, which is happening around all the muscles around that are connecting the spine to the pelvis as well. And those are the types of exercises that when you strengthen are going to cause that part of your body to get trimmer as you go in down toward the pelvis. Alright, so anytime you want to work on some core exercises on those muscle stabilizers, both of those breathing exercises are great. Do 12 on each side and then move on forward. Our last move today, we're going to talk about back to how kids, they breathe through their stomach. The other thing they do is babies crawl before they walk or run, right? And there's a reason why they do that. It teaches them to use these cross-body patterns. And when we do that cross-body pattern, that's when our spine starts moving and we need that stability, whether we're crawling, walking, or running. So let's work on crawling before we walk or run. In this example, we're taking an active quadruped stance here where she's on her toes, her knees are right under her hips, her hands are under her shoulders, and one at a time, at the same time, she's going to move that opposite arm and opposite leg. And your goal here is to keep that spine as straight as possible. And again, you're engaging those global stabilizer muscles that really focus on that bracing, those muscles that are wrapping all around your pelvis and supporting your spine. There's a lot of other awesome cross-body exercises you can do, like dead bugs on the ground and some other sit-ups that use cross-body movements. And we'll talk about that another time on another Tuesday training tip. Thanks.